All right, everyone. Over this month, we have seen a string of scandals involving the Democratic Party endorsing racism openly. Now, I know, of course, they've always been racist, generally speaking, like in the literal sense. Not like racism as in, oh, you said the wrong word on a live stream or something like that, but actually like virulently so. There's a little bit of a difference between the two. The dude who's wearing the Klan robe and burning a cross is probably a little bit more racist than your local YouTuber. Just saying, when you put on public displays of it, generally speaking, people point that out. But now, not only do you have the main candidate with the Totenkopf tattoo, which means that at least at one point he was involved with the literal Nazi movement. Now he calls himself an Antifa super warrior or something like that. He's a really screwed up individual. Not only do you have that, now you have, link in the description archived, of course, this particular story. Yes, indeed, the dude who was heckling Winsome, actually, in Virginia. She's running for governor as a Republican. And the funny part is that the NAACP has endorsed her opponent, despite the fact that her opponent is a white woman. So that's a little bit on the nose, I suppose. It's like, hey, you lost your black card, and now we're going to call you an Oreo or something like that. And trust me, this happens much more often than you think among liberals, by the way. Not only that, then you have a heckler who told her to go back to Haiti even though she's not from Haiti, and now is complaining he had to call the cops because he was getting harassed and stuff. Dude, it's one thing if someone is just getting like cyberbullied for having a bad opinion. This happens to politicians on a regular basis. When you come out and you show that you're both depraved and unknowledgeable about political issues, yeah, some people might, they might contact you and say that you're an idiot. This is barely even cyberbullying. It's just a statement of fact. You're a fucking idiot. Well, who gives a shit? But the Fairfax County Police, apparently they're not going to press charges or anything like that because they're like, this doesn't really warrant an investigation. The dude came out in public, said dumb things, and now he's being called dumb for having said them. Wow. What, I mean, this is a terrible, terrible, spectacular scandal of some sort. Well, no, it's not really a scandal. It's called you're being called exactly what you are, which is a fucking moron. The liberals have been doing this for a number of years. Left-wing movements, for example, are explicitly anti-white in many cases. They also seem to hate Asians. Look at the east wing of the White House being demolished, them whining about it. Do you know who erected that? It was FDR. He put several 100,000 people in concentration camps based on their ethnicity. Cry me a river, dude. Spare me the crocodile tears at some point and stop being an asshole. This dude was just being an ass. Winsome probably will win, actually. It's almost 50-50 in the polling for the Virginia race, and I think I know why. I have a feeling that it has to do more with the AG's race than anything else because Lil J there, he messed up royally, and so that is definitely tacking up the ballot. And so I have a feeling that both of those positions probably will go to the GOP in the end. By the way, the people of Virginia would be insane not to vote for Winsome because the alternative is basically a plantation bitch when you think about it. She looks like fucking Elizabeth Warren sitting there drinking $100 glasses of wine and stuff like that, and then chuckling to her all white, of course, friends about the help and stuff like that. That's the sort of thing that we're dealing with. We're seeing a Democratic Party that has devolved back into effectively the Confederacy when we're thinking about it. On objectively and hyperbolic, focus on states' rights that they never supported before. Only now the federal government is run by someone they don't like, so, then it's okay. The plantation mentality, stay on the reservation, basically. They say this to Hispanics and black voters and everyone else. They're basically trying to reintroduce slavery more than anything else. Hey, and government will take care of you. Long as you work hard. As long as you're willing to work 60 hours a week, everything will be fine, right? We'll give you welfare. Yeah, by the way, the Republicans are trying to take away your SNAP benefits, even though we could mint a budget deal literally tomorrow. This is a very, very strange political scenario that we see ourselves in at the moment. The Democrats have devolved back into what they used to be. They pretended to be so progressive. Oh, I love my black friends. Oh, I love those. I eat tacos sometimes. So, they're gringo tacos, but, whatever. So, I like Hispanic culture and stuff like that. But it's all just nothing but a goddamn facade, dude. It's literally nothing more than a friggin' joke at this point. I don't give a shit about any of these people. They don't care about anyone who isn't at least relatively wealthy, no matter what the color of their skin is. In that sense, they are unimpeachable as being equal opportunity parasites on society. That's what the Democratic Party has become. The handful of mavericks that do break that mold, they're just trying to introduce communism. So, yeah, pick your poison. Do you want to slug down some arsenic right now, or would you prefer the cyanide? As I've often stated before, because that's basically your choice with the Democrats. Neoliberal, this sort of shit. You get a sprinkling of racism, higher taxes, more regulation, probably some wars. And we're hoping that Donald Trump isn't crazy enough to start one in Venezuela. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. We'll put it that way. I would be very upset if that popped off. Or you can take the far left and you can get, well, you'll still get racism because they hate white people, generally speaking. But then you also get even higher taxes and then you get socialistic regulation. What a great party! They make a whole lot of sense now, don't they? Other people have spoken about this for a number of years. They've gone crazy with Eric Swalwell with his ballroom comments and all of these other things. Pete Buttigieg getting preempted by Trump, who wasn't even in office at the time, over the East Palestine issue. All of these things have stacked up to make just the most bizarre stack of scandals you could possibly hope for. And yet there are still people that are taking the party seriously. Honestly, at this point, I don't know that it's even necessarily salvageable. That's about all. Peace out.